And welcome back to number 7, Man Sharpens Man, with Dave and State Raised.
Hello, 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 hello.
Sorry we took a week off, but I was being selfish with my time, and, well, not really. I was remodeling my daughter's bathroom. I was being very unselfish with my time, and I just was balls deep in the job, and I couldn't stop to do shit, I felt like.
In the middle of being a swell human being.
I mean, not that this takes that much. This doesn't take a whole lot, but if she would have seen that I was recording my stupid podcast instead of doing her bathroom, my daughter would have been a little pissed at me, Dave, because I had it where she just couldn't shower, and so she didn't like that.
She wasn't here anyway.
Yeah, she left. She's in sunny California right now. She's living it up. I think she's probably going to go to a dispensary and try some of their good weed. I hope she does, at least. Hope that nut didn't fall too far from the tree. I know that's what I would do. So how'd you like your week off, Dave?
Oh, what did I do? I don't even remember what I did in this week off.
That means it was perfect. That's exactly what that means.
I did some comedy. Now, there's probably something pretty significant that happened that I need to report on.
Mm-hmm.
But it was dandy. It was swell.
Well, at least we're back now.
I confirmed a place in Grand Rapids to live.
Oh, we're going to have to start doing this via Skype. We're going to have to start Skyping our podcast.
Let's figure it out.
It ain't going to be too bad. Don't sweat it, people. Don't get scared. We got you covered. But we need send us money if you want, because equipment would help us Skype and stuff. We need some donors, Dave. I feel beggy. But that's what everyone does on their podcast. They always beg, so I'm doing it too.
That's the whole internet.
Yeah, the whole internet.
Just porn and, GoFundMe.
Go fuck yourself. Go fuck me and go fund me.
Just porn and cheap motherfuckers from small towns asking for shit.
Well, that's us. That's us, Dave. We're trying to make our come up, though. We're in the middle of trying to make a dollar out of 15 cents.
Come up.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
You know you want to.
Yes.
But yeah, I spent the whole week remodeling my daughter's bathroom, and being trapped in there for endless hours was horrible. But I'm glad it's over. You couldn't have paid me enough money to do it, but love is a hell of a motivator, so I did it because I love her. But being trapped in there like that, I kept having little flashbacks. Excuse me while I roll my joint, but I kept having little flashbacks, Dave, of being in the hole. I spent almost a whole fucking year in the hole. Did I tell you that?
Yeah.
Almost an entire year. That shit was horrible. It was for some bullshit too, but I don't want to get sidetracked. I want to tell you about something that I thought about, because this was some funny shit I had totally forgotten about. When I was in the hole, they brought this dude up, right?
When you say the hole, just for audience clarifications, you mean solitary confinement?
Exactly, solitary confinement while I was in prison. And just a little sidebar, though, I do want to say this for you and for our audience, is that I was in the hole because the motherfucker stabbed me. I wasn't in the hole because I had been acting stupid. I was in the hole because the dude had stabbed me, and I wouldn't tell them who had stabbed me. So it was a whole bunch of bullshit. But anyhow, I spent a year up there almost, and while I was up there, after about, I don't know, it was like 3 months of being in there, I'd been in there for a second. They brought this fucking dude up. I mean, his race doesn't matter that much, but he was a black dude. It does kind of matter for the story.
That's most of the people in there.
True, it is. So I guess you could have just assumed it. I mean, I'm not, but I'm close enough. After being in there, they indoctrinated me into their tribe. But no, I mean, the thing is I was in the hole, and I had been in there for a while, and they bring this dude up, and he had tried to escape. He had tried to fucking climb the fence, Dave. Can you believe that shit? And he was cut to fuck. Do you know what they put
Razor
around?
wire.
Yeah, have you
shit.
seen that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It ain't nothing to mess with. When I was on yard crew, I was near it. And I took a piece of trash paper and ran it, and it cuts it just like a razor would. So yeah, that is some serious stuff. But anyhow, they bring this dude up, and he had tried to climb the fencing. He got all tangled in that shit, and he was all cut up, and he had stitches everywhere, right? And he was in a cell. Well, he was just pissed at the cops. I don't know what he was raging about. I had never met him before. But he's in the same, hallway as me.
Well, I mean, if you try to escape, it's not like you really, it's like escape or die.
Well, that's pretty much what it is, and he
he was pissed because he didn't escape or die.
Exactly, he just got all cut up.
And he got his sentence extended and shit,
Well, I'm sitting in the hole one day, and there's not a lot of entertainment, and all of a sudden I can smell some smoke, and I'm like, oh boy, I'm almost kind of excited, because this is entertainment. Why the fuck am I smelling smoke? Well, I go to my door and I can stand there and I can look out my little tiny little 4 or 5 inch window and I can cut the angle down the hall and I can see that one of the cells down there has got smoke coming out from like round the door and under it. And it's that dude, the dude that had escaped, or tried not to escape, tried to escape, the one that had gotten cut up. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? All of a sudden, the cops that are down there, like, monitoring the block, they smell the smoke and they come running. Hell yeah, they do. And, like, he hated those fucking cops. But now, the cops he hates got to save him because he fucking lit something on fire in his cell. You know, I know what it is now. I'm just suspensefully speaking. I'm, like, trying to tell the story. But anyhow, the cops come running down the fucking hallway. They open his door. They bust in and grab him. And they come running right back out. The dude's, like, laying on the floor in there. They grab him up and they all let go and they, what the fuck? And they come running back out of there. You know what the guy did? He had covered himself in his own shit. He had shitted on the floor, smeared it out all over his body in a thin coat, and just was in his skivvies. No, he had it wet, just wet shit on him. And then he lit his mattress on fire so it would get smoky in his room and he laid on the floor and just waited for the police to come running up in there, the whole cops. And they ran up in there, and he premeditated just to get shit on him. That whole scheme, the smoke, the all that, just to get some shit on the police. And he had all them stitches, man. He had all them stitches. That's some crazy shit, isn't it?
How did he set his bed on fire? What did he set it on fire with? A lighter?
No, a cigarette. A cigarette. At the time, you could smoke in the hole, and when the cops would, that's what even makes it more ironic, is the cops had given him the fire for it. They let you have cigarettes in the hole back in the day, but they wouldn't let you have no matches or a lighter. But when the cops would make their round, they would carry a Zippo that they kept, and you could ask them for a light. And some of them would be dicks and, like, take your cigarette and shit, and they'd probably, like, you know, fucked with him or something. There was a reason he was willing to smear his wounded up body with shit and set his mattress on fire, but being in the bathroom took me back to my whole days, Dave, and I was like, oh, I remember when that dude, Mr. Wise was the cop's name that he hated so much. And I can still kind of remember his cackly laugh, that black guy. He was just like, ah, fuck you, Wise. He was so happy he had got him. He had got him.
Shit smeared him.
I'm sure they beat his ass on the elevator as they took him down to the fucking control center to ride his ass to IMAX or whatever. But anyhow, I was tiling a bathroom. I got lost reminiscing about prison. But like this man, Sharpens Man, I tell you prison story once a week. Like I said, I promised a little prison story. There's one for the day. But let's get on. Let's move on to some more.
Yeah,
let's move on to some happier stuff, Dave. We don't want to talk about sad stuff. And we're back. Let's come back. This is our Monday thing. Let's cheer people up. We have Belgium just made it so kids can kill themselves if they're terminally ill. How do you feel about that? Any kid?
Any kid?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the parent has to help or something, but isn't that? I mean, that's pretty monumental.
That's way further than America.
I know, but man, that's morbid. I don't want to get too deep into it. It's pretty sad, but I guess that's kind of cool. You gotta let him, like old Kevorkian was doing. I met him too. He did a bit. Kevorkian did a bit up here. I met him too. That's a whole nother thing. I won't get lost. I don't want to talk about Kevorkian right now. But them Belgium people, they said, okay, if you're terminally ill, you got the leukemia or something we can't cure, whatever it is, you can kill yourself, little kids. I couldn't believe I seen that in the news. Belgium is pretty progressive. You know they have 16 political parties in Belgium?
Yeah.
That's a lot of political parties. They deserve it. They had a
Was
lot of
it-
trouble in World War II. Hitler was shitting all over them.
Was it in Ukraine? I think it was like Ukraine or something, but Lord Palpatine, he won the election. He won a seat in whatever, the local elections were. But yeah, Lord Palpatine, he won in the Ukraine.
I don't know anything about Palpatine. What the hell does that even mean?
It's Star
What are you
Wars.
talking about?
Star Wars, Lord Palpatine.
And he won in the Ukraine? What did you take,
a
LSD
person.
before you came
A
here? What are you
person.
talking about?
It was. I'm gonna be a terrible
Did he
Star
eat
Wars
Belgium
fan.
waffles or
Yeah,
something?
yes.
What are you segueing to right now? You know I'm not good at
You were
editing,
talking
Dave. You
about
better clean this
You were
up.
talking about 16 parties in Belgium, and I'm saying in the Ukraine or some other country, a bunch of people ran for public office as Star Wars characters, and one of them was Lord Palpatine, and he won.
Well, maybe the guy had legally changed his name to Lord Palpatine.
He did.
Well, it took a while to spit out, Dave. That's
it was
not
a minute
that,
ago.
I'd see. I never heard of that, but I guess, I mean...
It was recent, yeah.
They're just trying to make fun of it. That's what I thought Donald Trump might be doing, like, when he first started running, was just, like, fucking with everyone, just like, pretend like I'm gonna run for office, but nope, he's serious about it. I think he might win now, actually, Dave. I mean, I'm not rooting for him to win. I said I think he might. There's a big fucking difference.
It's gonna be shitty either way.
Well, it'll be alright. We'll be fine. Neither one of them are gonna mess with the weed. The president doesn't care about weed. That's a weird thing. It's like the president never has shit to say about it.
Both of their vice presidents don't really see the weed.
What do you mean?
Kane and Pence are both kind of shitbags.
I don't really know about them. Like I said, I don't study politics. I just laugh at politics, so I just look for the funny stuff. I don't even know who's... If you ain't made an ass of yourself, I don't know who you are, so I haven't heard them. Donald Trump is too big of an ass. He out-asses everyone. His big ass shadow is eclipsing everyone else's ass.
Mike Pence is the governor of Indiana, the state I am from. And Mike Pence is a pretty shitty dude. Like, he shut down... they wanted to cut off the funding for Planned Parenthood, so like a bunch of businesses just said, "Hey, Indianapolis, fuck you, we're not going to do business with you anymore because you don't want to." Or it wasn't Planned Parenthood, it was like he wanted to take away gay rights and shit, it's equal sex rights and shit. Mike Pence is a piece of shit, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I don't personally know him, but apparently Dave does not like this Pence person. He tried to take away his rights. What if your rights was... I'm just messing with you, Dave. Gay rights. Gays should have just as much rights as us. I see biracial commercials all the time, Dave. I need to see some gay people in the commercials now. That's what I need to see. I know there's been one or two, probably.
You just don't watch enough TV.
I don't watch gay enough TV. I wonder if there's gay romance books. Like 50 Shades of Gay.
There is.
Is there? Have you read one? Like, I think... Could you read one? Because I can't even, like, gay porn is like, I can see it, but it instantly is like, it's just, like, repulsive. Like, I can't watch it for more than a moment when it comes on.
Going back to my Indiana roots
So again, I definitely could not read a whole gay novel. I could maybe read a page or two of it.
One of my cousins, he is gay, and I remember seeing, like, the whole, like, upstairs, like, attic area of my aunt's house was all my cousin's, like, apartment everywhere. He just lived the whole attic, and he had some, like, they weren't like romance novels, they were definitely like younger person reading level, but it was like books like Johnny and the, I don't know, it was like gay, it was like the Babysitter's Club gone wrong or some shit like that, I don't know.
No shit. Well, there's a market for it. They said 10% of people are gay, I think. That's what they said. That's what the stat is. 10%. That's 1 out of 10.
We're recording from Traverse City, Michigan, the gay capital per capita for the area size.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. Sidetrack's huge.
I don't even know any... I don't think I know any gay people around here. Do you?
I do.
I don't know anyone.
You probably do know gay people.
Yeah, but I don't care. I don't care, really. I really don't. I don't care. It's horrible if they're gay. It's horrible if they're straight, if they're married.
People have relationships with humans, and it's terrible.
It's just terrible.
And you try to spread your shit onto someone else.
Now, they said there's 48 cases of Zika in Michigan, Dave.
48?
48 confirmed cases of the Zika. I just heard that. I was like, what? I mean, winter's kicking now, so that's going to kill all the mosquitoes, but what about next summer? We got to sweat the Zika now.
It's going to be bad.
This is not false information, Man Sharpens Man listeners. This is some true information. The Zika is in effect from Michigan already, and it's because, like I said, 53. And I feel like a soothsayer because they're saying it's the shit I said because people went down to the Olympics. The devil went down to the equator and brought back some fucking Zika. That's what happened, Dave. They went down there and brought it back. That Zika is on the move.
And you know the shitty part about it is our Congress in Washington, D.C., They are not like they can do shit to like like pesticide shit. Hopefully some shit that doesn't kill all the bees, but they can do like anti-Zika measures, but they don't want to do it until they agree to defund Planned Parenthood. So that's pretty shitty.
It seems like Planned Parenthood is in a bunch of the different things.
It's just the
What is that? What is the Planned Parenthood? Is that where the abortion is happening, or what is that?
People know what Planned Parenthood is.
I don't know what
Let's
it is.
talk
I don't
about
even care about Planned Parenthood. You see, people
It's-
stay raised don't give no shits about planning no parenthood, because I don't plan on having no goddamn kids, Dave, because I love being free and I love being me, and kids would just be a weight, and I ain't gonna have none indeed. I made a little rhyme there.
Oh, what else is going on in the world?
Oh, what else is going on in the world? Oh, you know what I seen?
What'd you see?
Llamas are fucking crazy. Llamas grow fangs like vampires. And then guess what they do with these fangs? They fucking rip other llamas' balls off.
No way.
Yeah, they
Way.
fucking... And then they try to be like the only llama left standing.
Only llama left fucking.
Yeah, 4 nuts enter, 2 nuts leave. Yeah, they want to be the only... And then they set up a herd where like they have like some servant eunuch llamas. And that llamas, there's like eunuch llama, say that 3 times. But there's like eunuch llamas that have had their nuts castrated by a fanged.
And they just go get food and shit.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They might just like give them a back rub. I don't know what they do for sure, but they stay in the tribe. And then the one dude that's left with balls is the only one that has breeding rights, I guess. Yeah, isn't that that's so brutal? What a horrible thing.
And then inbreeding happens.
It has to, because then there's only, that's exactly
there's only
what happens.
One seed.
That's the only, See, I think that we do the same thing. I think sack tap. People, you know what sack tap is. You know, in school where you do the,
The circle game.
Yeah, where you look down.
Circle below the waist.
That's a similar one, but sack tap is like the llamas because you're getting hit in the balls constantly.
But if they look at the circle, then you sack tap them.
Exactly,
that's
that is part of. Oh yeah, circle,
Yeah.
circle, sack tap. Yep, I remember that too. You're right.
Yeah,
There's
below
several.
The waist,
There's
bang.
a lot of. See, that's what I'm saying. There's so many versions of sack tap that it's got to be like a llama thing. Like we're trying to castrate the other males. Like we don't know that. Like sometimes your instincts, you're deep down inside, Dave. You're an animal. That's what I always believe. If you're listening to this Man,
yeah.
Sharpens Man listeners, you can take some of my advice. Do one fucking thing a day that's like an animal would do. Just like let your shit loose, and that's how you stay healthy. That's how I stay healthy. Like seriously, I might just be like walking in the mailbox. All of a sudden I'll just fucking cut loose and just tear ass to the mailbox like a dog would. For no reason. Because I think to myself, just do what an animal do. Or sometimes when I'm banging, I think, what would a monkey do? And I just have like some wild monkey
Just
sex.
smear some shit on her.
Yeah, exactly.
We're all animals made of stardust.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. You have to let your animal out once in a while. That's what keeps you young and fucking brah, even as you get old. I think. I'm not super old yet to prove my theory. We'll see. But
We will see.
But I'm doing pretty good. I feel like it's a good method. Live like an animal.
Yeah.
So what's going on in your life, Dave? You had your whole week off. You're getting ready to move. It seemed like you'd have a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, I do. I'm trying to get all my shit together with the move. I'm trying to get the packing going and all that stuff, and I got a lot of stand-up comedy shows in the way. I mean, very good, fun stand-up shows, but annoying stand-up shows. I mean, none of them are. Yeah, stand-up. It's
You're getting
wonderful.
ready to move to the big city, and you're done with these little small cherries. Is that what it is? You ready? What's the name of that club in Bay City or Rapid City, or Big Rapids? What's the name of that club you're going to be near?
Grand Rapids, Dr. Grins.
Dr. Grins. That seems like kind of a corny name for a club, but what are you supposed to call it? You got to let people know it's a comedy club, so I mean, I guess there's no name that's not going to sound corny after you say it a couple times. Dr. Grins. I guess that works.
I mean, there's worse.
Do
names.
big people play there?
Yeah.
And you know that you're going to be able to get booked in there?
I mean, that's the goal eventually. I mean, not just Grand Rapids, because you can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna go to Dr. Grins every week. I mean, like it's not like that here in Traverse City. Like out in LA, you could do a spot at the Comedy Store, a couple times a week. But I'm light years away from doing a weekly spot at any place.
Oh, I can dig in. I was just trying to check and see what's up with the move and what's up down there. I didn't know what you were going down there for.
No, I have two more shows, two more Rotten Cherries comedy open mics. That's the Traverse City's only stand-up comedy open mic. It happens at the Workshop Brewing Company. We have a show, the day this will be released, Monday the 19th. We'll have a show that night, 8 p.m., Workshop Brewing Company.
You ain't got many of them left, do you?
No, October 3rd is our last one.
Is that the
Or
passing
it's
of the
not
buck?
yeah, it's Jeremy West.
Finger gun Jeremy West.
Finger gun Jeremy West will be taking over Rotten Cherries comedy open mic, taking my baby, reintroducing it to the world.
Ever since I met you, Dave, and you told me about your rotten cherries, I always think about old virgins. That's what it makes me think of, rotten cherries. I know we grow cherries in Traverse City, so that's why the rotten, like you guys are some dirty rotten cherries, I get it. But I always think of old virgins, of course. It's like old virgins with rotten cherries. And that's corny.
I knew one of those people.
An old virgin? 40-year-old virgin?
Like to death virgin.
Whoa, what a shitty life.
She was really religious.
Well, of course, there has to be some kind of reason for it. That is crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be easy. I don't know. That's crazy. How could you stay a virgin your whole life? You don't think she diddled herself?
I mean, she was a very old person, so I mean,
I mean, when she was young,
I'm sure
though.
there had been some sort of like ancient, like cornfield, like walking through the cornfield and having the ears of corn diddle certain areas. You know, like I'm sure that had to have been a thing that happened.
Oh, just
in
like,
her
oh,
youth.
you know what used to happen in the old days? Listen
What
to
used
this.
to happen in the old days?
The old, like, barons of the land would grow a huge hemp crop, right? You talk about getting your privates diddled by a plant, made me think about it. They would send the virgin maidens out in it, butt naked, and have them, like, run through the weed, they say. That's how the thing I read said. I'm sure they weren't running through it, but they basically had them go out and, like, roll in the hemp and run through the hemp and get all hemped up all between their legs and up on their bodies and all on their cooch and stuff. And then they would eat that. You know, they would eat the pussy with the hemp, with the whatever, like the resin from the buds all on it and stuff
Do
like
it
that.
up.
Yeah, and they said that they would get high while they were getting their freak on. That'd be a ball.
And
That's
it
baller
makes sex
status
that
right
much
there.
better?
That's baller status. Like Lil Wayne even living like that. Like
No,
he
Lil Wayne ain't got shit on that.
no, he's always rapping about getting some truffle butter, which is gross, but he ain't getting some loving like that. Some truffle resin. That is an amazing thing. I think it's real too. I mean, I think that was a real story. I think that really used to happen. I mean, people
sure
used to
it
live
did.
crazy back then.
I'm sure it did.
There was no cable. You had to do something for fun.
Speaking about crazy, how about local crazy? Michigan local crazy. Down in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Did you hear what the Boy Scouts did down yonder?
Campaign for gay rights?
Yeah.
No, they hate gay people.
No, there was 15 Boy Scouts protesting at a like a commission hearing because there was a package of bills just passed.
Commissioner Gordon?
Yeah, Commissioner Gordon. Yeah.
What are the Boy Scouts protesting? The commissioner?
Because the medical marijuana grow is going to be opening up in Ann Arbor.
Well, what, they don't grow there already?
It's going to be, but this grow is going to be 500 feet away from the Boy Scouts office, like one of their office. Oh, it sounds all important, but really it's just a place
So why
they store popcorn.
why this guy announce he's gonna grow? What a dumbass! He knows he's right by the Boy Scouts. That sounds like he's kind of stupid. Like, I mean, you're allowed to grow. The law protects you. You don't have to announce that you're growing, but
Well,
the Boy Scouts are assholes.
He had to go to the commission meeting because too many people get arrested in this area.
Oh, so he was CYA and he was trying to be the good
and
citizen.
he was trying to be up and say,
and then
like,
the Boy
hey,
Scouts cock blocked him.
Yeah, they haven't cock blocked them yet. They're
trying to.
cock
Well, they're trying to
block
help, and it's
But-
none of their
but-
business. What assholes! Didn't you tell me a while back that the Girl Scouts made money off weed once or something, or sold some munchies?
them. Yeah, they set up this one story out of San Francisco. This Girl Scouts set up in front of a medical marijuana dispensary, and I think it was within 2 hours she sold like 400 boxes of cookies or some crazy shit like that.
Ah, damn, that is
Basically
way
like
better. See,
like a box or 2 boxes every minute.
See, the Girl Scouts promote peace and harmony, and the Boy Scouts are clashing. That's some bullshit. The Girl Scouts are way better now to me.
Bastards.
I call Girl Scouts winner, Boy Scouts losers. You know I got kicked out of the Boy Scouts for eating brownies? Yeah, that's a stupid
Any
old
other hack
joke.
jokes you want to tell
I
us?
know that's an old joke, but I had to say it. I love that old joke, eating brownies. A brownie is a type of Girl Scout, if people didn't know that.
Yes.
That joke is so old, like, I don't even know if that, like, there's some jokes that lived too long where the terminology doesn't even make sense anymore.
No, you can say that. I've seen it said with young people, and they have no idea what it's about.
You're like, what the hell is that? I had some old guy tell me a joke one time. He says, what do you get when you mix, he said, TNT, powdered elm, and LSD? And I said, and then he told me the punchline. I'm just going to tell you what it is real quick. He said, you get a pussy that's uptight, out of sight, dynamite. And I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, he said it with a lot of zeal, and he was old, so it kind of made me laugh. But it's like, what does that even mean? Do you know what powdered elm is?
I imagine it'd be like sawdust.
It is, that's what it kind of sounds like, but it's like something that makes you pucker. It's what they put in pickles. Because I had to have him explain the joke.
So citric acid?
Yeah. So the LSD makes the pussy out of sight, the TNT makes it dynamite, and the powdered elm makes it uptight.
Pucker.
Yeah, so it's uptight, out of sight, dynamite. And he had to explain the whole thing to me, and it was like, now that you fully explained it, it's kind of funny. But you see what I mean? The terminology, just like I was too young for it, I don't know.
Yeah.
He acted like I should know it, like, you idiot, you don't know what powdered elm is? Fucking young whippersnappers with your already pickled pickles. When I was a kid, we had to go pick cucumbers and powdered elm. I never heard of that shit, Dave.
Oh, exciting things coming up, world listeners. We will be having a interview.
Oh, yeah. Dave set us up an interview. I was very proud of him. He was out being entrepreneurial and getting it on his own. Tell him who you got us.
On the September 25th, that's a Sunday, State Raised and I are going to go down to Lansing, down to the state capitol, and we're going to go to the First Cannabis Church of Logic and Reason. And while we're there, because it's the cannabis church, we got to engage in some religious material. And when we're there, we're going to interview Reverend Jeremy Hall.
I cannot wait to get this guy's opinion on weed and stuff. This is going to be super cool. This is going to get us some more people, Dave. I'm glad you got this guy to agree to do this. And he agreed to do it. I seen the email, the confirmation, blase splee. I seen the full thing. He agreed. Good shit, Dave. I can't wait to talk to him. I know this guy's a smart dude. He set this whole church up. That's a smart thing.
He's a cool guy.
I mean,
I'm a member of the First Cannabis Church of Logic and Reason.
I kind of feel like I'm a prospect because I don't know much about it, but I will go listen to his spiel. It sounds like it'll be a lot more fun than listening to a Jehovah's Witness.
We have a potluck at our services.
Potluck.
It's a way better potluck than at your Sunday morning bullshit.
And they have powerful puns. I had the Jehovah's Witnesses stop by my house just a few days ago. I scared the shit out of them. I told them I thought the Bible was responsible for more deaths than any other book ever. The lady freaked out. I was like, oh shit.
We have a roach collection.
Is that what they do there? Is a roach collection? How does he keep the lights on with roaches?
Well, what they do with the roaches is they get all the burnt nasty shit off it, and they'll give the roaches to someone who doesn't have enough medicine to get through the month.
No shit. That's a nice thing. See, that's what churches are for, though, even if they're not based on, the crazy book that, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to piss anyone off.
Not books, but books,
Yeah.
Because all those religion stories, they all have the same fucking shit in it. Someone was born by a virgin, someone was fucking hung on a cross, someone rose 3 days later, but in a different one, someone rose 5 days later.
People always have a problem with that born by a virgin thing, but my parents, I watched them, they were married, and I don't think they ever had sex. I always wondered how I was born. No, I'm just kidding. I know the Bible has some crazy stories, but if you read it and you're tripping, it's very cool. And it does have some good shit in there. Like, I do like it. Like, it's a good book. It does have some good morals and some good lessons, but Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Get lost into babbling about religion all day. It's about as interesting as politics. Donald Trump is the new Messiah. That would be interesting.
So what else is
That's
going
probably
on?
what he'll say if he wins. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys when I was running, I'm also Jesus. Not too much going on. I can't wait for my
Orange
daughter.
Christ.
My
Orange
my
Christ.
daughter's coming back from San Diego tomorrow, and I'm very excited for her to see this
California.
tile job completed. I busted my ass to get it done. Her whole wall was rotted out. It was gross, but I did it. And you know what? Word of encouragement to people: I had never tiled a whole wall before, or a whole 3 walls, and done all that shit. Like I had done little parts and pieces. I've done some grunt work, but I'd never done a whole thing like that. And you know what, Dave? I took that shit on and ate it up.
Did it?
YouTube is a powerful thing. The internet is a powerful thing. If you got something that needs done, just do it, man. Strap your fucking nuts on, listeners. That's my advice. Weekly advice. I'm going to start giving weekly advice. I'm trying to build a format for this show. Dave, every week, I'm going to have a bit of advice, a little nugget. This week, every Monday, but this week, Monday's advice is for this week, everyone strap your nuts on. If you're a woman, they're figurative nuts. If you're a man, they're figurative nuts. You don't have to have 4 nuts. That'd be very sweaty. It'd be a sweaty situation if you had 4 balls.
Play balls.
You know, some people are born with some crazy messes down there sometimes. I've looked, I got to admit, one of my favorite things to look up, not in the porn department, but kind of in the, almost porn department, is, messed up junk.
Medical mishaps.
Yeah, like a while back I heard somebody talking about big clits on one of the podcasts I was listening to, so I was like, I need to look up some big clits. And that led me to, big nuts and odd nuts and big-headed penises and micro penises and mega penises and... Oh, there's a crazy world of junk out there.
Mad world.
It's a mad world of stuff out there. I'm glad I'm comfortable with my own junk and the junk that I have to look at on my partner. We both have beautiful junk, Dave. You don't get to see it, though.
I don't want to.
You're starting to look kind of like, oh, he's opening up, talking about him and his partner's junk. Dun dun. I forgot to tell everyone as a special surprise, because we didn't film for a whole week, we're doing this episode naked. No, we have our clothes on. That'd be gross. How long have we been going, Dave? Boy, we got 32 minutes in the pipe.
Minutes.
We've been ranting and raving.
Do we have any more shit?
Do you want me to roll us a little doobie?
No, where'd that paper go?
Oh, you want to read?
Yeah,
I don't know where that's at.
We don't need it.
We don't need it. We don't do anything off the paper. See, we did everything, all 3 items. I folded it into my paper is an airplane right now because I was playing with the cat, and there wasn't much on it. I was busy this week. I didn't have much time to look anything up or think of anything. That's why I'm kind of free balling this week. I got 4 free balls swinging. But I tell you what, I seen a commercial. You know what I seen a commercial for? Bag Cereal is starting to try to fucking put commercials on. Yeah. Doesn't it seem horrible? At first they were just biting the flavor. They were just like, oh, we're kind of like the other cereal. Oh, try us because we're a fucking rip-off of the other cereal.
Your parents are poor and they can't afford Lucky Charms for your spoiled ass.
Yeah, so here's a bag of cereal that goes limp as soon as it even thinks about milk. That cereal had ED. That's what it should have been called. It should have been called Lucky Charms ED.
ED Flakes?
ED Flakes. Because it had erectile dysfunction. It went soft right away at the first glimpse of milk. At the smell of milk, it was soft.
Bagged cereal.
But it had a fucking commercial now. Can you believe that? I love commercials. A lot of young people, they DVR shit or they Netflix shit, and they're always fast-forwarding through commercials, and I feel like they're missing out in life. Those are tasty little nuggets of information.
Yes.
I mean, they're doing the shopping for you, Dave.
My sister...
They're doing the shopping for you, baby.
Yes.
You got to admit.
They are. Bagged cereal was a big part of my life. The food pantry. That's what they had. That was the number 1 cereal they had all the time.
They do have that a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes, though, because rich people give the food pantry food, a lot of times, didn't you notice that they'd have, weird, expensive shit that, a poor person definitely wouldn't buy? You know what I'm saying? Like
the shit from the delicatessen.
Yeah, the deli area, and you could just tell, you'd be like, there's no way I would buy this 3-pack of fruit chews for $12 that are natural juice made or whatever. There was so often something like that because they always set up outside the store And then as people walk out, they're like, hey, you want to throw something in the basket? And they're like, oh, here's, like fruit roll-ups. Like, poor people don't buy fruit roll-ups. Did you get fruit roll-ups when you were a kid?
No.
Hell no. Only rich kids get fruit roll-ups. If you were eating fruit roll-ups before you were 15, then you're rich.
That and fruit gushers.
The standard does change every year, so
Yeah.
maybe nowadays poor kids can have fruit roll-ups. I don't know. Fruit gushers, too. Those were for rich kids.
Yeah.
Those are delicious.
I
felt like
love the day when I got a hold of some gushers.
They were good.
They were.
That's what you need in a wife, Dave. Make sure that as you're out there wife hunting, make sure you get yourself a fruit gusher. She always needs to smell like cocoa butter, and she needs to be a gusher. It's very important that you look for that. Because you didn't have it when you were poor and young. Make sure you find it in a wife. Get you a fruit gusher.
We'll try.
It's the best kind of woman there is. Don't get a fruit roll-up. Don't get one of them fruit roll-up bitches. That's what they make edible panties out of, I think, is fruit roll-ups.
Yeah.
Those things are so sticky and, like, they stick to each other. They don't really stick to you that much, but I bet you that would give a chick a yeast infection, something fierce. Female listeners, if you've ever tried edible panties, you've got a raging yeast infection,
You probably left them on too long.
anonymously leave a comment and let me know. Yeah, take them off now. No, just tell us about it. We'd like to know. I don't know. I don't have any, aside from finding a pair one time unopened and opening it and tasting it, and it tasted like a really chintzy, shitty, like it was a really crappy flavor of like
flavored condoms.
I never tasted one of those.
You've
Dave,
had to have experimented with flavored condoms before.
But I feel like if I didn't have any gum and all I had was a flavored condom, I'd probably chew it.
Whatever.
No, I've tasted it. I was like, what does this taste like? I'm lying. I just was trying to make you feel bad. Yeah, I wish this was on video. You guys could have seen Dave sweating. He's like, oh shit, I'm the only one that's weird. Don't you hate when you think you're the only one? People are strange. No, we're all weird, Dave. That's the beauty of it. That's why we're on here. We want people to share their weirdness with it. We need some of you guys to write in. We don't got very many people writing in. I had a couple people write in, then all of a sudden they died. You guys know who you are. Write back in. I loved you. You write me some more. Remember, I was answering your questions. We were figuring this universe out together. You were coming up with questions, and I was coming up with answers. It's a two-part thing. It's a two-stroke. You can't do both parts all the time. So we need your help, people. Write in for us. Two-stroke us. Slick leg us. And write us in. You know what slick legging is, Dave?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking. Just checking. And I'm not offering. I was just checking. Talking a lot about sex positions on this show. Label this show sex positions. No, we don't want to put that. People will be like, I'm not listening to that bullshit. I love the names of them. Like, they have such unique names. By next episode, I'm going to get a huge list of sex position names, and we're going to discuss them on the show next week. Well, not next week, because we're doing one Friday. So, like, in a few days.
Yeah.
Look forward to it, Dave. Look forward to it. But do you want to plug some stuff? Because we're getting right towards the end. Do your quick plugs. Run through your list.
We'll talk for a minute.
I feel like he's like, oh no, he put me on the spot. I'm going to have to look it up. I'm a little Apple devicey here. It's okay, Dave. Don't worry. I got plenty to talk to him about. I miss these people. I miss our listeners. When I sit here, I can close my eyes and vision all 6 people that begrudgingly listen to the show a little bit so they can pretend like they listened. And I like to talk to them. I love those people.
Yes.
They're my friends. If you're listening to the show, I love you, man. Thanks for listening, dude.
Yeah, the Michigan just kind of fucked with the whole medical system the other day.
Oh, I forgot. We were going to cover that. See, that's why I should have wrote more down. We talked about that before the show.
HB 4209, HB 4210, and HB 6827 or something like that.
For all you paralegals out there who can't use your arms or legs but are good at law. No, I know what a paralegal is. It's someone who jumps out of a plane while working on law.
Yeah. But it's some fuckery.
Isn't it some bullshit? They make the law so confusing that you have to be more than a paralegal to even figure out what to do with the weed. It's just a trap and a trick. In Texas, they have a weed stamp. See, I lived in Texas for a long time. I know a little bit. And it's still illegal down there, but they have a weed stamp. And they say you're allowed to have weed as long as you have a weed stamp. And the way you get the weed stamp is you take your weed to the cop shop and apply for a weed stamp. But if the weed you bring in doesn't have a weed stamp, they arrest you.
That's how they did it way back when they made it illegal with the Marijuana Tax Act or the Hemp Tax Act.
That is
That's what they said. They're like, like you need to have a stamp, but you got to bring it in to the cops to. You, you got to go to school for like 7-8 years to be a judge or to be a lawyer.
Ain't that a kick in the ass too? I hope we have some lawyer listeners.
You can go and train for 6 months and be a cop. If you're gonna be enforcing the laws, shouldn't you like work at it a little bit more to know?
I don't think so, because I think I see. Here's what I think about the law. You just need to be a certain kind of person. You need to be a hero to be a cop. But to be a lawyer and a judge, that's what's got the whole thing fucked up. Because the cops, Dave, are the people that are our heroes. If these lawyers and judges didn't have the drug laws on the books all fucked up like they are, everyone wouldn't be pissed off at the cops. And you would look at the cop as the guy that saved your mom and saved your girlfriend from getting raped or mugged. I mean, these people are heroes. But the lawyers and the judges that go to school for 7-8 years, and hopefully we got some listeners, and I love you guys, but you go to school for that long, and then you still got to look everything up. What the fuck? Let the lawyers and judges just go to school for a little while, because you're still going to have to look the shit up. I mean, school isn't that important for either one, really.
But the cops, they fuck with us medical patients.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Because they don't.
In my opinion, it doesn't come from them, though.
Because it goes jurisdiction to jurisdiction. How whatever the old
so
guy
many times
interprets the law.
So many times I hear the cops say that they would prefer to not even fucking be bothered with the weed, and the only reason there is because of the prosecutor who's getting sweated by like Shooty, who, if anyone didn't know, is like our governor, isn't he? Or what is it?
He's
Shitty
the
Shooty.
AG.
Yeah, the assistant
Attorney
General, yeah, and he's always riding around and putting bugs up people's asses. So that's my point. It isn't the cops, and if the lawyers and the legal people and the politicians and the people that are making the laws took these crappy laws off the books, when you walk down the street with weed in your pocket, and if you weren't scared of the police, you would have no reason to fear them, and they would be the heroes they're supposed to be. I mean, a cop is just like a fireman, really. He's willing to lay his life down for you. He's almost like a dog. That is a loyal person.
Yeah, but
he is loyal to a fault, like an animal.
But when the cops make most of their budget off of drug busts, they're no longer heroes.
Right. Well, some departments do, but I seriously am telling you that I feel like that's generated. That evil is generated from a different place than the police. But I ain't got no reason to love the police either. But I do appreciate the shit they do. I mean, they do a lot of crap, but. These politicians, they need to quit making it so fucking complicated. Like, most of us, especially people that smoke weed, Dave, are dumb. I mean, we're not. I say especially people like us that smoke weed. But I mean, we're not dumb, but we're not college-educated people. They shouldn't make the law so fucking complicated. No law should be that complicated. It's not like shoplifting is complicated. They're not like, well, if you go in and if you put it in your shirt, it's not shoplifting. But if you put it in your pants, it's shoplifting. They don't have it. If you steal, period, it's stealing, right? They don't have that shit complicated, and that's how the weed law should be. They should make it simple and keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. KISS. That's the general rule of thumb, Dave.
True, but when they make money off of fucking with us, so they don't want to make it easier for us to understand and do the law because they make so much money off of the fuckery.
Nah, I don't think it's money driven though, because they'd make more off taxes. Colorado's modeled the taxes. They see the money they could make from that. I think that the thing is that we have to die, Dave, is what happens. People my age have to die. The old guard has to die for it to go away, because so many people have been self-righteous all these years and saying, hey, weed is bad, weed is bad, weed is bad. Well, now the jury's out and the verdict's in, and weed isn't bad. It doesn't kill people. Oxycontin kills people. But those old people that have been saying weed is bad all this time don't want to swallow their pride and admit that they've been wrong this whole fucking time, so they want to stick to the fact that weed is bad. There's so much more money to be made off taxing weed than there is off busting people that live in trailer houses and taking their Trans Ams.
And Big Pharma would lose money if weed was legalized because less pills would be needed. Hey, can I plug a few of my shows?
And Big Pharma doesn't pay the police. Big Pharma pays the politicians. So we see where the evil comes from. We know where one of one of Cerberus's heads is reared up at. Hell yeah, you can plug the shows before we get too carried away.
Get out of here.
They'll be arresting us for militia behavior when we drop this podcast, Dave, and here ranting about the government. But they're trying to fuck with our weed, so we had to rant. I'm glad we did. We're gonna dab it. Dab, Dave. Boom! We just exploded hands. All right, plug your stuff.
So the day this will be posted, the 19th of September.
No, I'm posting this tonight, but it is
Okay.
Monday's episode.
Yeah, so Monday 19th, 8 p.m. Workshop Brewing Company. We're Rotten Cherries Comedy Open Mic. Friday the 23rd at the Inside Out Gallery in beautiful Traverse City, Michigan. 9 p.m. I have the Cheap Seats Comedy Showcase, hosted by Jeremy West. Finger gun Jeremy West. Saturday the 24th, I will be in the Why Not Sanctuary in Rapid City, Michigan, in the middle of the woods.
Why not?
Wonderful place. The 29th, that's a Thursday, WNMC Radio, 90.7 FM or WNMC.org. The 2nd, I say way too much. The 2nd of October, Crystal Palace in Thompsonville, Michigan at 7 p.m. The 3rd, Monday the 3rd of October, I will be passing the torch of Rotten Cherries to
Finger guns!
Jeremy West. And then Wednesday, 10/5, I will be hosting at the Holiday Inn West Bay at 9 p.m. Hosting for Spencer James and David Toby.
Toby!
And
Kunta! You'll be hosting for Kunta himself.
And then moving down to Grand Rapids.
Hey, you know what I thought of while you're plugging stuff? What do you call, this is pretty corny, what do you call a woman with tangled pussy hair? Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Where is Why Not? What is that? Is that a venue? What is that? I wanted to
It's a place in...
tell people where that's at.
It's in Rapid City.
All right, oh, that's obscure, but Rapid City, it's worth it. Get out to Why Not?
If you don't know...
It's not tangled
you
pussy
don't
hair,
know.
but it will be fun.
Yes.
If you're not in the know, you don't get to go. That's how it is, though.
Yes.
We didn't need to plug it. If you already mum's the word.
Yeah.
But we plugged it because it's in the list. All right, well, I'm glad we're back. Sorry we were gone for a week. It's good to have you back, Dave. I was missing you. You should have came over here and helped me with this tile, you motherfucker. But I did miss you. I'm glad you're back. We got our show back on order. We'll be back in a few days. Love you, people. Peace, pot, and microdot.
Goodbye.